Hi everyone. In this video we're going to be talking about what is C# and how does it work. But first, let's talk a little bit about the history of C#. C# is developed by Microsoft as a part of the .NET framework. C# is an ECMA 33.4 standard language, which means that Microsoft has submitted it for standardization to be a cross-platform language. C# is a C-based language, which means that the syntax is going to be similar to C++, Java, JavaScript, and PHP. C# is an object-oriented programming language, which means that everything is an object of a specific class. C# is a strongly typed language, which means that once a variable has been declared of a specific data type, its type cannot change. C# is intended to be simple, modern, and general-purpose programming language. The most recent version of C# is C# 6.0, and it was released on July 20th, 2015. C# versions. C# 1.0 was the first release, and it was released with the .NET Framework 1.0 and Visual Studio 2002 on January 2002. And what is Visual Studio? It's the Integrated Development Environment, or IDE, and it's basically the text editor that you write your C# code in. C# 2.0 was released with the .NET Framework 2.0 and Visual Studio 2005, and it was released on November 2005. C# 3.0 released with the .NET Framework 3.5, and it was released with the Visual Studio 2008 on November 2007. C# 4.0, which was released with the .NET Framework 4 and Visual Studio 2010 on April 2010. C# 5.0, which was released with the .NET Framework 4.5 and Visual Studio 2012 on August 2012. And finally, C# 6.0, which was released with the .NET Framework 4.6 and Visual Studio 2015 on July 2015. What changed in C# since 2002? As we all learned, C# 1.0 was their first release, and then the C# 2.0 came along and introduced generics, anonymous methods, iterators, and static classes, and so on. C# 3.0 introduced auto-implemented properties, anonymous types, lambda expressions, and partial methods, and so on. C# 4.0 introduced dynamic binding and name and optional arguments, and so on. C# 5.0 introduced asynchronous methods and caller info attributes. And C# 6.0 introduced auto property initializer, string interpolation, name of operator, and dictionary initializer, and many more. What is the life cycle of a C# program? First, you write your source code in the IDE or the text editor, and then the C# compiler converts into bytecode. It doesn't convert it into machine code directly. And then Common Language Runtime, or CLR, converts the bytecode into native code, or machine code. What is Common Language Runtime, or CLR? The Common Language Runtime is the virtual machine component of the Microsoft's .NET Framework, which means it's basically the Java virtual machine in the Java world. It managed the execution of the .NET Framework programs. A process known as a just-in-time compilation converts compiled code into machine instruction, which the computer CPU executes. The CLR provides additional services including memory management, type safety, exception handling, garbage collection, security, and thread management. All programs written for the .NET Framework, regardless of the programming language, are executed by the CLR, and all versions of .NET Framework include CLR. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one, and until then, happy programming!